Picture a world where winter's chill is constant, where the cold bites through layers of wool and the wind howls across empty fields. In this world, the sun's warmth is a fleeting visitor, rarely lingering long enough to thaw the frozen earth or bring comfort to weary bones. Medieval European farmers faced relentless threats: harsh weather, poor soil, and the ever-present spectre of famine. Each season brought new challenges, from torrential rains that flooded fields to droughts that cracked the earth. A failed harvest or broken tool could mean disaster, not just for one family, but for entire villages dependent on the land's yield. Yet these farmers were not helpless peasants. They were survival engineers, adapting to adversity with resourcefulness and grit. Without modern science or machines, they relied on raw ingenuity, learning from the land and from each other, passing down hard-earned wisdom through generations. Every day, they battled unforgiving land and unpredictable climate, never certain if their efforts would be rewarded or washed away by the next storm. Their tools, shaped by generations, were specialized solutions, not crude relics. Each was designed with care, honed by trial and error, to meet the unique demands of their environment. Each sickle's curve and plow's angle reflected hard-won knowledge, the result of countless experiments and adjustments. They mastered wood, iron, and the biomechanics of labor, understanding how to balance strength and efficiency with the materials at hand. These unsung heroes built Europe's foundations, one harvest at a time, their collective effort feeding towns and shaping the future. Their story is not of kings, but of resilience in muddy fields and humble workshops where innovation was born out of necessity. They saw potential in every scrap of wood and iron, transforming the ordinary into the essential with skillful hands and creative minds. More than farmers, they were inventors and strategists, constantly adapting to survive and thrive in a world that offered little mercy. Their legacy is etched into the very land they tamed, a testament to human resilience and the quiet genius of those who shaped history from the ground up. Medieval tools weren't primitive. They were perfectly adapted to the world they were made for. The ingenuity of medieval farmers is often underestimated, but their tools were the result of centuries of trial, error, and innovation. Take the yard or scratch plow, simple, yes, but brilliantly efficient for its time. Its design was the product of deep understanding of local soils and farming needs, not a lack of imagination or skill. Lightweight and easy to repair, it could be pulled by a single ox or even a person, making it accessible to families with few resources. This meant more people could farm, even on a small scale. Its design fit small, irregular plots and lighter soils, which were common in many medieval landscapes. The ayard was especially useful in regions where large, heavy plows would have been impractical or impossible to use. The yard cut shallow furrows, ideal for dry climates, preserving soil moisture and preventing erosion. This was crucial for farmers who depended on every drop of water to keep their crops alive. Cross-ploughing, making a second pass at a right angle, broke up soil for sowing, creating a fine seed bed. This technique maximized the effectiveness of the simple tool, showing how skill and knowledge could compensate for limited technology. This wasn't backwardness, it was intelligent adaptation to the realities of medieval life. Farmers constantly experimented, refined their methods, and shared knowledge within their communities. The ARD prioritized affordability, reparability, and adaptability. If a part broke, it could be replaced with local materials, keeping costs low and downtime minimal. For small-scale farmers, it was a symbol of survival, not stagnation. The plough represented resilience, resourcefulness, and the ability to thrive in tough conditions. In the brutal calculus of medieval life, the yard simply worked, proving that so-called primitive tools could be perfectly suited to their time and place. The ARD was more than a stick. It was a system. Farmers crafted it from forked trees, blending material science with necessity. Iron-tipped shares extended its life, balancing cost and performance. Using the ard required strength, skill, and constant communication with animals. Every part, the beam, handle, share, was tuned for efficiency. The farmer felt the land through the tool, adjusting for rocks and roots. This was hands-on engineering, perfected in mud and sweat. It was a partnership, human, animal, and tool working as one. Harvest was a race against time and nature. Every season, farmers watched the skies anxiously, knowing that a sudden storm or early frost could destroy months of hard work in a single night. The pressure was immense, and the window for gathering crops was often painfully short. To meet this challenge, farmers relied on two key tools, the sickle and the scythe. These implements were the backbone of medieval agriculture, passed down and improved through generations. The sickle's curved blade allowed for precise, clean cuts, perfect for working on uneven ground or in tight spaces where larger tools would be unwieldy. It was especially useful for delicate crops or when harvesting by hand was the only option. The scythe, with its long, sweeping blade, could clear wide swathes of field quickly, but it demanded skill, coordination, and considerable strength to use effectively, especially over long hours in the sun. Each tool was optimized for its task, the sickle for precision and control, the scythe for speed and efficiency. Together, they formed a perfect partnership in the hands of a skilled farmer. Blades were crafted from layered steel and iron, a process that gave them both sharpness and durability. Blacksmiths took great pride in their work, knowing that a well-made blade could mean the difference between a bountiful harvest and a failed one. Handles were carefully shaped for comfort, reducing fatigue during the long, grueling days of harvest. Even the smallest details mattered, when every ounce of energy counted. Ergonomics was born from necessity, not luxury. The design of each tool reflected centuries of trial and error, shaped by the needs of those who used them daily. The choice of tool depended on many factors: the type of crop, the lay of the land, and the size of the workforce. Adaptability was key, and farmers often had to make quick decisions as conditions changed. Blacksmiths forged blades to balance hardness and resilience, ensuring they could withstand the rigors of daily use without becoming brittle or dull. Every harvest was a communal effort, with families and neighbors working side by side. Every tool was a product of generations of refinement, shaped by the hands and minds of countless farmers before. These implements were not crude, they were the cutting edge of their world, representing the height of practical technology for their time. In the end, survival depended on their mastery, on the knowledge, skill, and determination of those who wielded the sickle and the scythe. No farmer survived alone. The village was a machine of cooperation. The open field system divided land into strips, shared among families. Ploughing required pooled resources: oxen, plows, and labor. Harvest was a synchronized rush, with everyone reaping, gathering, and gleaning. Tools and knowledge were shared, not hoarded. Communal mills and presses served all. Experienced farmers mentored the young. Mutual aid was the safety net. Neighbors were your insurance. The village's social web was as vital as any tool. Collective resilience held their world together. In medieval life, maintenance was survival. Tools were lifelines, not disposables. Evenings were spent cleaning, sharpening, and repairing. A sharp blade meant efficiency, a dull one, exhaustion. Farmers mastered the art of edge and wood care. Tools were protected from rot and reinforced as needed. Knowledge of materials, oak for beams, ash for handles, was essential. Blacksmiths and farmers depended on each other. This blend of personal skill and communal craft kept tools working. A well-maintained tool was a promise of another season. The medieval farmer's world was harsh, but their resilience endures. They mastered local sustainable technology, solutions that fit their world. Tools were investments, maintained and repaired, not discarded. They valued durability and self-sufficiency over consumption. Community was their greatest strength. mutual aid ensured survival. Their story challenges our disposable culture. True wealth was measured in skill, resourcefulness, and cooperation. Their ingenuity flourished in adversity. They remind us resilience is built together, not alone. In their legacy, we find inspiration for our own uncertain future.